Welcome back to another Roblox video. In this video I am on Jailbreak and we'll be doing a video comparing all the $1 million vehicles. Now this isn't really going to be based on just my opinion. I'll give comparisons of speed and talk about the other advantages that aren't so obvious stats. Now I have done a video like this before, but since then the Trailblaze has come out and I kind of wanted to do a newer, better one. So yeah, there are quite a few $1 million vehicles now. There's the water vehicle, the Sloop, then there are the three land vehicles, which are the Trailblaze, monster truck and Volt bike, and then there are the three different air vehicles, which are the Black Hawk, drone and jet. Okay, so first off we've got the Sloop. In the last video when I showed it, there was a glitch going on at the time, which made it just kind of like seesaw back and forward, which made it terrible to use. You would like fly off it if you stood on it normally, not in the driver's seat, and it just didn't work. It was so slow, so terrible. It still is very slow. You can see it's just extremely slow. I can't really compare this one so well to the others because obviously it can't go on roads or above the roads like a helicopter could or a car could. I wouldn't really suggest this. This cave is like the worst spawn in the game. It's also one of the slowest things in the game. It's also the worst type of vehicle in the game, being a water vehicle. It's got the least seats in the game because it's only got the driver's seat, and it's so big, which in a lot of cases is bad. Like, it's tall, you wouldn't be able to get it under bridges. The only reason I would get this is if you have every vehicle besides this in the game and you just want to get it as like a collector item to show people. Next we have the monster truck. So this is one of the land vehicles. It's got these giant wheels which really allow it to go over little bumps without even allowing you to notice. One problem with these big wheels is if you go over the desert area or something a bit like it that's got lots of big bumps, you end up bouncing too much in a way. Since wheels don't collide with other vehicles, you can just kind of drive over a short vehicle like the Lamborghini or Camaro without it getting in your way at all. If we come to this hill here, it doesn't, yeah, it's like not great. It can't really climb up it very well at all. Yeah, you can see it can't get up it at all. It works great for things like train track. It has 6 seats, so it has 4 in the back here, which I believe you can shoot from quite well, and then this front passenger seat and the driver's seat. I'll be doing the speed tests between all 6 of the vehicles that I can really do them with at the end of the video. The monster truck does have a better spawn than the Sloop as well. It's got this spawn in the $1 million store, which is quite easy to access if you're a criminal or police. Okay, so the next vehicle is the Trailblaze. The Trailblaze has 2 seats, not as many as the monster truck, but to be honest, seat capacity isn't that important. The cool thing about the Trailblaze is it's got off-road capabilities in a different way to the monster truck. And it's got this insane amount of power to the point where it can just like pull itself up the side of a cliff or mountain. Like, look, I just drove up that. So if I can actually get my wheels on there we go, just pull myself up. That's pretty much a 90-degree angle straight upwards, which is insane. That's what's so good about the Trailblaze. Its performance with like climbing capabilities is just the best in the game. Also, it doesn't bounce as crazily as the monster truck. You can't get up these kind of hills very easily, but here, let's say, you can so easily just throw yourself up the side. And it's got the same spawn area as the monster truck. It spawns in the $1 million store. Okay, so next we've got the Volt bike. Now, the Volt bike doesn't require modifications to get to its top speed. It only has 1 seat, so you can't bring a friend on it, but it's got the advantage of being a small vehicle. You can just go around a bit easier, because of its thin build, that's just a motorbike and not a whole car. It hasn't got too good off-roading. It's definitely not got anything like the Trailblaze, and little bumps like the train tracks can affect it a bit. It's decent on the hills, but I think it has the best potential on the roads out of the vehicles we've shown so far. One disadvantage of it is it cannot pit maneuver people like the Trailblaze or Monster Truck can. It has the same spawn point as the Monster Truck and Trailblaze. It spawns in the $1 million store. Like, one advantage of all three of these land vehicles is they are the $1 million vehicles you can spawn in a garage, or if you have the mobile garage game pass, can spawn anywhere. Okay, so now we're moving on to the air vehicles. A good thing about these air vehicles is they are already at their max speed. You don't need to upgrade their engines and stuff. There's nothing functional you can upgrade. All you can upgrade is just the colors. Obviously, an advantage of these air vehicles is the fact that, one, you can go up and get away from people in that direction, but also the land doesn't affect you in any way. Off-roading, well, air vehicles are like the best off-roading vehicles. You can fly over this whole hill without being affected by it one little bit. The next vehicle we've got is the Jet. Now, the Jet is a weird vehicle. It's very strange. Now, the Jet is very hard to control, or even if you're really good at controlling it, you don't have as good control and maneuverability as with something like a helicopter or a car. It can quite easily get stuck since it can't reverse. It is very fast and can go extremely high. It takes a bit of time to take off and stuff. You have to start going forward before you can take it off. But it's got high speeds. It only has one seat, which is the driver's seat. And it's got this weird mouse, like, moving drive thing. It does have some useful spawns though. It spawns in the military base, and it also does spawn over at the airport near the Red Bridge and stuff. So the next vehicle is the drone. It's just fast, simple, doesn't really have much to it. It's got two seats, a passenger and the driver. It can't go too far off the ground. The only time that comes as a problem is when you're going up a hill and it can't go up quick enough and then you hit the hill. The height limit isn't like a limit like most helicopters. With the drone, you can go a certain amount off the ground. Getting over little buildings like this, really handy, and also being off the ground, so not being able to be pit maneuvered and like ejected so easily. Its spawn is over in the little town at the $1 million store, so along with the Trailblaze, Monster Truck and Volt Bike, which we've mentioned so far. So the final $1 million vehicle is the Black Hawk, which spawns green. Yeah, so it's got a rope, which the drone hasn't, which allows you to rob cargo ship and pick up cars and things like that, which is pretty handy. It's got a lot better height than the drone, so you can go really quite high. Not as high as the Jet, but still pretty high. It does have a height limit rather than it can go a certain amount off the ground. Another great thing about it is it has 8 seats. So it's got one passenger seat in the front here, and then 3 on each side at the back. And then it's also got the driver seat at the front. So it's the highest capacity like vehicle in the entire game, which is very cool and can be handy. No worries for terrain. Like the drone, it can take off and land really easily, unlike the Jet. It also has some great spawns. It spawns in the $1 million store, and it also spawns in the military base. If you spawn in the police HQ or this police station, you can get it, or the military base, of course, you can get it quite quickly. And if you spawn in the prison, you can go and get it from the $1 million store. So it's pretty easy to access whatever team you're on. Okay, so now I'm going to compare the speeds of these vehicles with them all maxed out to make it completely fair. Okay, so now you'll be able to see the board of like what is the quickest. I do not yet know, but I can guess what it will be. I'd say best is the military helicopter. It's just great. Can go super high, got the rope, got the highest seating capacity in the entire game, got great control, and it's got like the best spawns out of all of them. It's just perfect, pretty much. It's basically perfect. Then the next one I would say is the drone, because it's got like quick speed and good control. Then I would say the Volt bike, because it's got crazy speed and it's small. It's got a decent spawn in the $1 million store. It's just really good, like, for driving if you don't want a air vehicle. Then the Trailblaze, it's great with its ability to climb up hills, and it's got decent speed as well. Like, actually faster than I thought it was. Like, got 2 seats, which is usually okay, unless you're planning to rob the tomb with a group you're actually carrying around. Then I would say the monster truck, because I mean, it's okay to drive usually. Like, its speed's kind of okay, not good for its price, but like, it works. Next I would say is the jet, because it's got some decent spawns in the military base and airport that can kind of be handy. I mean, it's got good speed and a good height, but its control's just not there. It's terrible. And then last of all, that's Sloop. The Sloop that no one wants and should really only be $1, but for some reason they decided to make it $1 billion. Like, to be honest, it's the worst vehicle in the game in my opinion, and it's also one of the more expensive ones. So yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna have to end today's video, with the military helicopter, which I've now decided on being the best. The best. Even with its new glass thing that makes my face look very weird while I do these outros. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified. Bye!